You are listening to the Built to Grow podcast.
All right, welcome back to the Built to Grow podcast. I'm your host, Tim Lyons, in studio, Cloudy HQ, Scottsdale, Arizona, joined as always by Randy Angston. What's up, man?
Hey, feller.
Got that printer printing. That was good.
The struggle of our day was getting
Replace the cyan cartridge. Magenta.
Magenta got done.
Oh yeah, that done got did.
That got did.
All right, great show for everybody today. But before we do that, we're going to do a quick sponsor spotlight for Nomly. Nomly, this is my buddy Sumit. Sumit's actually local here to Arizona. He's created a software that basically helps gym owners simplify their operations by centralizing member data and communication. It's got two-way texting, gives you reports on who's coming in. And he's got over 300 fitness professionals using this product. He's actually given us a code, WG2021 for Winning Gym 2021.
Nice.
Go to Nomly.com, Naamly. You can check out the product. A little bit about this product. He actually came to me as he was in development with this. It's a software, but it integrates with MindBody and kind of brings the data in. It brings some revenue in, but it really, the coolest feature about it is it allows you to centralize communication through text messaging. It's a two-way text messaging operations, and it's got some smart technology. So if you've got a trainer named Mike and it says, "Hey, Mike," it will reroute the message to his inbox versus other inboxes. But you have a centralized point for all of this stuff, and and it tells you who's at risk and things like that. So it's a really great tool. Especially for training gyms where you get people you got to hold them accountable, right? So I would recommend taking a look at Nomly and use code WG2021 for Wave setup fees, and he'll provide a 30-day trial as well as personal onboarding session for you and your staff. So
nice.
Sumit's really going the extra effort for us. And if you're going to be at the Growth Summit, he'll be there. You can check out the software in person and see if it's a good fit for you. I highly recommend you take a look at it. So
yeah.
That being said, we've got tickets still open. If you're sitting on the fence, the price is set to go up here any day now. If it hasn't already, by the time you're listening to this, this is our Growth Summit, guys. We did one in 2019. It was invitation only. We set the bar at $400,000 a year or more in gross revenue back in 2019. And you kind of had to qualify to be in that room.
Yeah.
And I did that on purpose because I really wanted to get the best of my network, of our network together, to, rub elbows and network and solve big problems and think about bigger things than, the small day-to-day tasks that you're probably facing every day. This year we've lowered it to $250,000 only because, right, we had a really crap year and a lot of people got, it
was hard on everyone.
Kicked in the butt a little bit with the stuff going on. So if you're a gym owner, you want to get in a room with, we're going to have 70-ish gym owners in there. Network has some great speakers, and we'll talk about the speakers in another show. But you can check out more details at winninggym.com/Scottsdale to snag your ticket, your seat at the table.
There you go. That brings us kind of to the topic today. We wanted to talk about your circle of influence, if you may, where you're spending your time, who you're spending it with. The reason that we, decided to put on the Growth Summit was for that, to force that. To put you, Tim, you've got a great way of articulating it, but putting you in an environment with other people, all focused on the same thing.
Right. And the way it all came up to be was it all started with that survey.
Yeah.
Okay. We started with a survey. I really wanted to understand what's happening out there in the fitness space, the fitness industry, the gym owners, the training businesses, and what kind of revenue, staff, members, all that stuff.
Data,
right? We wanted to understand. I think we got 1,300 respondents. We were giving away a power rack. Again, this was several years ago, and we got the data and really surprised us. It surprised me, that gym owners out there in the mass majority were making under like $200,000. And I thought that, something had to be wrong. This isn't right, but comes to be, that is the norm. And yep.
Yeah. Well, we found, in speaking with a lot of the gyms that are at that level, it made some sense because it became the fact that, yes, the gym is a business that they have. They are generating that revenue, but that's not their sole, income. Most of those individuals are working full-time jobs.
Yep.
They're supplementing that on the side, or, a spouse has some supplemental income. There's other things in play. And it was the majority of the people that got back to us were in that seat.
Right. And so I said, of the coaching and the masterminds and the seminars and the summits that are out there, there is a ton that focus on that demographic, that, make your first $10,000 a year crowd. And that's totally cool. And, to be honest with you, that's probably what I needed 10 years ago. But today, this isn't who we are, and this isn't who we serve per se. So I said, well, we need to create our own. And again, it was mostly to create some elevation, the rising tide raises all ship theory. Let's all work together. And in my early days of gym ownership, I didn't want to share. I didn't want anybody to take my stuff, steal my stuff. And ironically, I was always looking for stuff to take and use in my own business, but I didn't want to share because I always felt like, hey, if I share what I'm doing, that's
what makes me unique. Yeah.
Well, not that, but maybe my competitor might use it and start running the same stuff. And I got over that years and years ago. And ever since I did that, things changed for me. It was about, growth and helping and giving away everything on the podcast that we can possibly give away. Because if we help you on this show or an episode prior to this, we know that eventually, like and trust us, you believe in what we say, and, maybe we get a chance to work together at some capacity. But it was about getting the right people in the right room together at the same time and set the atmosphere for growth. And the slogan or the term I took away with, I put on the stamp of this growth summit, was opportunities for growth occur when you surround yourself with like-minded, driven individuals. I've said it a million times. I just have a number. I should tattoo it. But it's the absolute truth, because when I go back to the past of our career here, it's always the growth happened when we were joined masterminds and coaching groups and, networked with the right people. That's when the growth happened. And it's no coincidence. It's
intentionality.
Yeah. It's exactly, we know that. And so not too long ago, I guess it's getting a little long, but 6 months or less ago, we joined a new mastermind that was outside the fitness industry on purpose. Like, I wanted different influence. I wanted to learn new things because, there's some really great people out there that you may not have heard of. We joined Todd Brown's top one. Yeah, top one. And it was a massive investment. It was $30,000. Got it. No problem. But we know that being in that group, going and coaching with Todd, we have our call with him tomorrow, we're going to grow well over the $30,000 investment.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just because I'm surrounding ourselves with the right minds. And that goes to the point of this episode is, who do you surround yourself with? Who are you hanging out with? You see these memes. I see it. I just saw one yesterday. If you're between 25 and 30 years old and your circle, your friends aren't talking about stocks and investments and starting businesses and all this stuff, and they're talking about, partying and going out last night, you're in the wrong group. And it couldn't be more true, because you're the average of the 5 people you hang around with the most.
Yep.
If you look around your 5 best friends or the 5 people you hang around with, and you're the most successful, that's the wrong group to be in, because they're dragging you down. Yeah.
And there's something to be said about that too. I mean, consistently, it's not always intentional. It's not always visible, and you're not always intentionally doing it. And that's where some of this episode could resonate with you. You might be spending your time with somebody because you have to, or because it's a working environment, or because you choose to, but you're unaware that that's actually sucking the life out of you, or it's taking you and deterring you from what you're trying to accomplish. When we're talking about your circle of influence, I mean, the people you're spending your time with, our conversations between work all day are with our mastermind group. Yep. They're with other business owners talking about how they're leveling up, what they're working on, how, even my conversations now with my friends in the social atmosphere, it's not going out, having a drink, relaxing, trying to remove the world. It's what is the next step? What is next for me and for you? And how can I help as somebody in your network or, somebody who cares about your growth as well, networking and having those opportunities. But it doesn't happen by accident. And even worse, it's the opposite by accident. If you're not aware of where your influence is coming from, then you're not aware and you're probably going the wrong direction.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah. And talking about our mastermind, our Iron Circle, Friday night, and I was laughing because I was sitting on the couch, of course, not going out. Not, maybe I want to go out sometime, but I wasn't going. I didn't go out. I was texting back and forth with the other members, and we were talking about real estate. We were talking about we were talking about depreciation schedules.
This conversation was so in depth that in the 1 hour I was eating or something, I grabbed my phone. I had 215 messages from this group chat.
We were going off, right? When you have multiple people in there firing back and forth, but I was thinking, this isn't the normal conversation.
That's exactly what you said
on a Friday night with gym owners, and that's good for us. Like if that's the group that's driving me ahead, it's driving them ahead, and us, and I will absolutely share the journey that I'm on with this real estate development. Happy to share it. I am deep in the weeds with it right now. You can't even take a deep breath to even explain what's happening, which is just the way I like it. Okay. It's kind of weird to say that, but it has to be this way or else I don't feel like we're making progress. Yeah. So, I'm having meetings 3-4 times a week now for deep meetings. And, we're talking big numbers and awesome stuff. So that being said, this was the conversation we were having in the Voxer community that we have as a Iron Circle member. You get full access to us, to everybody else in the group. And, Jeff, one of our past coaching clients that ended up joining the Iron Circle, he is loving his new life. He's got a big volleyball camp. Club. He owns the building, 20,000 feet. I think it's got 6 courts in it or something like that. Indoor courts, upstairs, downstairs. It's a rocking place. He's crushing it. And he always, gives us the credit for pushing him and stuff like that. He did the work, let's be honest. But I just gave him a window of opportunity to show him what was possible. And he ran with it. Oh, yeah. And it goes to show like, hey, he's coachable. He was a baseball player anyway, so he's used to having coaches and stuff. And then Matt's over there talking about his buildings and how he financed them, and he got private lending. And we were talking about our tax deductions that we're going to be having in 2020 and 2021 and all this cool stuff that, 10 years ago I wasn't having this conversation. Nope. And it does take time to get there, but it is absolutely 100% case in point. The circle, the people that you hang out with are your influence. It's the, your chance to level up, chance to grow.
It's funny too, because, there was conversation of this when we were coming up with the podcast topic or, share this, but like we talk about all the time, things become aware, you become aware of something and then you see them all the time. Yep. Well, the term like your tribe has been just everywhere for me lately. Friends on social media and talking about protecting your tribe. Yeah. And if you as a business owner don't have your tribe, if you don't know who is your tribe, I highly suggest you figure that out and be intentional about it. Go seek out people that, are in your network that you aspire to learn from. People, find a way of taking them out to coffee. Value your time, though. Don't expect them to just turn around and do things for free.
Yeah, value their time.
Value their time. And we've had people reach out, offer, what is an hour of your time? Can I meet you for a cup of coffee? Can I pay you a couple bucks to learn from you? That goes a long way. But regardless, even the people that you're spending your time with on all capacities, be very, very deliberate, intentional with that time because
yeah. And I always go back to my uncle that he was the Debbie Downer of the family. He's no longer with us. God, rest his soul. But I would tell you that I avoided him like the plague a lot of times. And I felt really bad about it, but he would suck the juice out of it. You would just feel like depressed after talking because everything was wrong in the world with this guy. Love him. I had to, you have
to protect yourself.
I had to. So I would see the phone ring and it was him and I would avoid it sometimes, but I was very aware what was happening because I would have an hour call and I would feel like crap after. I was like, man, that's not good.
There's another level of influence there too. And I'm knowing him, right, where he spent his time and where he spent his energy and the things that he was taking in, it spilled over, right? It created his operating system. I had that same conversation with one of my best friends yesterday, actually. We were talking about how music influences your mood.
Yeah.
It's no different. If you're the type that gets up, I mean, we both love our Pantera, we love our hard rock, we love our, but I don't want to listen to that at certain times because I know that the state of mind I want to be in is not that.
Yeah, music's a big one.
Absolutely. But we're inundated with these things. And if you're not aware of it, it's playing that level of influence, whether you choose to or not.
Yep.
You could have that on your headphones, be doing other things. There's a reason why they say like when you're doing computer work and stuff, certain tones, like I've got a couple channels on YouTube that I'll throw on that are just, sounds at different frequencies and things like that help the mind stay in focus.
Interesting. Yeah.
I mean, I don't think about it. It's not like I'm sitting there singing the lyrics or anything like that, but you absolutely feel more in tune with the work that you're doing as opposed to like, damn, Cemetery's Gates is on and I like want to like punch my computer instead of, knock out this email, or I want to go get a workout in, or, it's the same way. The books you're reading, make a different choice. If you love reading, but you find yourself doing novels all the time, find something that's growth focused. Find something middle ground. I've been recommending Green Lights, Matthew McConaughey's book. It's right in the middle. Great life lessons, but it's also, read by him if you like audio. And he's got a way of articulating things that it makes it interesting. I mean, he reads like he acts, you know what I mean? So it's engaging, it's enjoyable, but you're getting a lesson out of it. It's not just an escape.
Sure.
I think most people spend their time outside of their job trying to forget it all, run from it all, instead of finding that, we talk about synergy, where you can, have other aspects of your life that are feeding each other.
Yeah, it's interesting. We have a mutual friend, Selby is our buddy, and he's the employee. He works for a living, and that's cool and everything. But it's all about Friday. It's all about Friday. And Friday, we're just starting a conversation last weekend. It's all about Friday for him. And if you find yourself like trying to avoid work or not think about it or just unplug, I mean, it's okay to unplug and stuff, but like you avoid it, or Monday morning comes around and
you dread it. Yeah.
You're probably doing the wrong thing. I mean, or there's things that you need to fix in the business that we could probably help you with if that's what you're interested in. But you should enjoy. I can't wait for Monday because that's a new week. I can get back to business.
Opportunity.
And so, let's go back. Let's take a half step back for a second. The crabs in the bucket theory.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. This is a great theory, and it's true. If you've ever seen crabs in the bucket, you've heard this term. You get one that's trying to make the big escape and they're climbing up to the top, and all of a sudden their claw comes up and it reaches up and grabs their leg and pulls them down. I don't know why that happens, like on a level of animals.
Crab level, yeah.
Yeah, at the crab brain level. But it's an analogy for the people in your life don't want to see you succeed. Or they should want you, but they don't. And it's just a reflection on their self. So when you get haters and you get your friends and family hoping you fail, it's because they fail. And it goes back to them in their own insecurities, and they don't want to see somebody doing better than them. And that's a big problem. If you're not aware of it, that's going to drag your ass down like the crab in the bucket. And you don't want that.
More often than not, when somebody brings something up and has something to say about you, it's their own projections. It's their own insecurities.
I also heard this term. Somebody that's doing better than you and more successful from you is never going to make a comment or hate on you because they're busy doing their own thing. It's only the people below you. Think about that for a second. If you're getting, you use the word haters, but if you're getting people making comments on your stuff or giving you shit and everything, it's usually because they're not doing well. And we all know social media is a big smoke show. Right?
Oh, God, yeah.
Wait,
the Lambos and the private jets aren't real?
Shit, maybe somebody owns them.
Well, somebody does.
Somebody owns them. But another great case in point. You're eating clean. We don't use the word diet, but like you're eating clean. You're very intentional about the way you eat. You go out to eat at a restaurant and you decide to order off the menu. You order salmon and broccoli, no butter, no nothing. what happens at the table where everybody's eating pizza and burgers and wings that give you the hard time?
Yeah, you're the problem.
Why are you eating that, man? Eat this pizza. Or like, dude, come on, dude, that looks so boring. Like, why are they doing that? What do you think? It's because they don't want to feel guilty about stuffing their face full of that burger, right? Or those wings and French fries.
And it's back to that kind of law of averages. A law of averages exists because averages exist. Everything draws you towards the average. Those people are drawing you towards that status quo. That's the way life is. And
break away.
A great lesson. It might have been on Andy's podcast, one of the podcasts I listened to lately, but the topic was on victimhood. But he said the thing is, what the successful people do is when they see adversity, they run at it. Mm-hmm. They don't use it as an excuse. They're not limited by it. They see a problem and they seek it out because that's an opportunity to learn a skill or to advance or to be better and not be in that situation again.
Right. Or they don't let the problem stop them.
Exactly.
They're driven hard enough that they want to get through it, so they find a way to fix it, right? Versus letting that thing, whatever it was, that roadblock, stop you in your path. If you guys knew what I was dealing with on this real estate project, you would I told a couple people, I go, this would have crushed a lot of people by now. Just wiped them out. I forget, it's too much. And it's putting me to the test, but at the same time, I know this is what I want to do. So it's going to get done. I just got to find the solution. Yesterday, the money down on this deal went up 150 grand. I had to come up with $500,000 in cash. Well, great. How are we going to do that? Right. So we got some problems to solve here. It was, the down payment on this deal was always going to be about 350, 400 max. Now it's 5 plus. So we got to come up with 100 grand. Fine. We're going to find a way to do it, and we have it, but I'm just saying, like, what we decided, one of the things we're going to do was we're going to sell lifetime memberships. We're going to sell lifetime memberships to the new facility for 25 grand. Gives you a full lifetime membership. All the stuff we get, you get your own
the bells and whistles.
You get your own parking spot. You get your own polo. You get your plaque. All the goodies. And I bet, and I'll fill you guys in, I bet we sell 20 of these things.
And that right there, in the 24 hours you just kind of screenshot, is exactly the purpose and why you need all of this stuff. The intentionality, the group of influencers, the people, is because problem came up, big ass problem, by the way, not small guys. I mean, most people don't even, where the hell do you come up with that kind of money, right? Big problem. Yeah. Well, that's here. You're months into this project. It needs to happen. You didn't spend 48 hours feeling bad about yourself. We talked about the solution within hours of the problem presenting itself. Yep. It instantly moves into solution mode. We're not wasting weeks of time. We're not worrying about it. You're not crying, for 48 hours. The problems exist, but they all have solutions.
Yep.
Spend your time on the solutions. Figure out which one of those is the best. Yeah. The problems just fade. You don't feel bad about yourself when you're working forward.
Yep.
And that solution focus, moving into action, that problem is going to solve itself.
Yeah. So solidify your tribe, get the right people around you. If you guys, we're opening up the Iron Circle again at this Growth Summit. If you want to learn more about the Iron Circle, this is such an amazing, we've created it from scratch. Cause again, our goal for this group was to serve the highest of the best in our network, but in the training gym network. If you fit that, $500,000, $1 million, $1.5 million gym owner that has multiple things going on, and you want to surround yourself with bigger thinkers, bigger people are going to push you, because a lot of times when you're at that level, you're the one that's pushing everybody else. If you need a kick in the ass to move yourself even further along, let's jump on a call. I want to tell you all about it. We've got some amazing success stories in just the short year we've had this thing together.
Oh yeah.
There's no group like this. It's easy to say, hey, we're going to do a mastermind for those, $10,000, your first $10,000 a month, businesses. We could have done that, but we decided to do the hardest thing you can do. Let's focus on the highest of the best. And if that's you, I want to talk to you because you're a special person and you're doing big things. I want to learn from you too. Like that's the other side of it. Like I want to learn from the group. So we're all raising the bar. We're opening it up at the Grow Summit. So if you're interested in that, either get to the Grow Summit or talk to us ahead of time. And we're only opening like 5 spots to this thing. So we'll make sure that at least you know more about it. Okay. So that's pfmarketingsolutions.com/call. Until next time, guys, I tell you, the tribe is the tribe. Drive, press the gas when you can, but make sure that you in a nice way, cut the people out that aren't doing you any service. Okay. Think about it. It's sometimes a hard thing to do, but be intentional.
Or limit your time. You know what I mean? I mean, it doesn't have to be an extreme, but when that person walks in that you could waste half a day with just chatting.
Yeah.
Find a way of ending that conversation. Get back in the game.
Gotta go.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Until next time, keep changing lives. We'll see you on the next show.